Wife cheats, then leaves. Been married 10 years. Have had a rough patch the last 4 to 5 years. My wife hit the wall, her dad died, she got depressed and could not work. We decided she would be home and I would work. The money was enough mostly, but I always had a bad feeling since it was almost living paycheck to paycheck. During the first years of our patch, my wife was horrible. To me, our kids, and to herself. I'd been called bad names when we fought, or when she thought I didn't do things right. She later on caught up herself and got help, talking with someone. This was after she started to have suicidal thoughts. All this made me more quiet, and I was not talkative before. I became angry, it affected our kids, I could snap and yell at them. I started to hate myself for my ways. My sex drive was not there, she only wanted to have it around her periods. We had a discussion at the beginning of our relationship. She had explained that she could have sex with a roommate during her periods because she was horny. My self-esteem fell. Fall 2021 we barely spoke. I wanted to, but I got 5 hours sleep per night. I tucked the kids every evening and woke them up every morning. My wife just slept in. When I got home from work she tossed in the towel and went to bed, leaving me the kids and housework. This had been going on for a good while. I wanted to speak with her about it, but me being tired, me not wanting to be called bad names and her having depression was not a winning concept. 2 weeks before Christmas, she wants to talk. We sit down and she says she is tired of me being angry, that she is tired of being the responsible one. I become so tired I only do bare minimum in the house, and that she doesn't want is become like her family. Her upbringing is one of the reasons for her depression. I suggest couples counseling. She wants me to move out so she can think. I say no. We don't talk more that day. I only mention that I've wanted to talk to her, but work, kids and the house always got in my way. I also tell her about my sex drive. She doesn't seem concerned for me. The next day she is with one of her girlfriends. They go to church and later she asks if they can grab a bite. I say yes, I'm not the suspecting type. I think you have to trust your partner in a relationship. Me and the kids watch a movie. They later go to bed. Around before midnight I get a text that I can go to bed. Later she calls to tell me she will drive around for a while since her depression has returned. Nothing unusual, she drove around many times to clear her head. I fall asleep. 1 or 2 hours later she wakes me up, says we have to talk. She tells me she has been with another man. No sex, but kissing and toughing without clothes. I can't comprehend anything. I hardly sleep and I don't eat for 2 days. She does not want to say who it is, but I have a suspect. She said that she was in his apartment because that is where they was eating the food. Her friend left, but my wife stayed. I think it is a guy who also is in her depression group. They are 4 PPL taking walks and talking with a counselor. I spend 1 week in a blob, just like a robot. My wife says she feels so ashamed. She decides to move out. I say I don't want her to move out. We tell the kids we are separating. From the day of the cheating to 1 week after New Year, she sleeps at a friend, not the guy. During this time she says she is still meeting the guy since they are in the same group. They don't talk though. I spend the first months after New Year to try and talk with my wife. I tell her all my feelings, how I see everything. Several times I write to her, she was the woman of my dreams. The only response I get is that she will answer later, she has to think. Only 2 times she wanted to talk to me. The first was when the man she was renting by got cancer news from his doctor. He is a good old man, very caring. She wanted to ask if she could live in the house if it became something of the cancer. Thinking of my kids and my feelings for her, I said yes. She still rents from him, he is doing fine for now. The second time was when she needed a living payment from the state to help with rent. She was not working, the old man rented it out to her for free, but had papers with rent on just for sake of it. Problem was, she had to be divorced to get the money. Me as a husband had legal responsibility to care for my wife, even if we lived separately. We signed the papers. I once again tried to talk a bit with her, her answer was the same. After that, my feelings started to go away for her. I was still hurt, still am, but I wasn't longing for her anymore. I have not told her this, but I think I will finalize the divorce papers come October, 6 months waiting since we got kids. To me, her actions had been selfish. To me, she doesn't seem to care about me. I have even asked a woman out on a dating app, no answer yet, only a couple of hours ago. I hate this feeling I have. I second guess a lot of my decisions. Emoti my marriage, we have had great times as well, and 3 great kids, that led up to this. I'm not a light-eyes man, so that adds more worry for the future. I'm trying to find myself again, the years has made less than before. I try to work out, write my book, meet friends, etc. But I'm not happy, just less sad. I know this time will pass, I just hope I can find the energy to cope. I'm going talking with someone about myself. I hope Noon has to endure this. My heart is broken and it has never hurt this much in my entire life. I hope you all have a good week, with a lot of laughter and love. Peace. Update. Thanks for the feedback. It's only been a couple of hours since I wrote it. We split the kids 50/50ths. That was something we decided directly. They should be affected as little as possible by this. It's not their fault we had a shitty marriage. We are very thorough when it comes info between each other about the kids, dentist, school, etc. Hindsight, I see a lot of thing you bring up. I don't think she loves me anymore, don't know for how long back into our relationship she hasn't. I am working on myself, and my priority and R1 are my kids. They are the main purpose of me going to work every morning. I made a pact with myself at the beginning to always call them every night they are at my wife's to say goodnight. My network of friends disappeared during my marriage. I tried to connect with some of them during, but they never got back themselves. Now I got contact with one of my best friends from school. He is awesome, not a bad bone anywhere, and we can talk for hours. He even told me some things about his childhood I never knew, and we really knew each other back then. My dating is not that serious. I'm not going to bring another person into my children's lives just like that. But I need to practice to communicate with the opposite sex. I'm an introvert, I find it hard to talk to people in general. Thanks again for the feedback. I'll keep reading and thinking about my options. I live by Sweden, I have a full-time job with good pay, I live cheap, so money is no issue for now. I'll see if I can update more later, when October has passed. Peace.